And hello everyone, welcome into the men's basketball recap video. This is episode number 8, and we are going to dive right into the men's recap video. And the first matchup takes us to Huntington, Indiana, where the Foresters faced off against the Knights of Marion. The first time these two teams met, it was Marion victorious by 2 points last month, and Huntington returning the favor this time, winning by a final score of 83-62. So the number 19 Foresters victorious in this game. Looking at the stats, Dylan Moles, 4 of 9 shooting for Marion, 4-4 at the line with 3 rebounds. Gavin Foe had a really good game, 6 of 10 shooting, 4-5 at the line, 8 rebounds. And Aiden Franks, 8 of 18 shooting, 0 of 6 from 3, so he did struggle shooting, but he did have 3 rebounds. And the Knights are also dealing with a ton of injuries, so that is a big difference maker there. But Knights, though, despite the injuries, they shot really well from the floor, 44%, just 8% from 3. They were really good at the free throw line for 75%. Meanwhile, for the Foresters way better shooting, 54% from the floor, 52% from beyond the arc, and the Foresters better at the free throw line at 84%. Looking at the stats for the Foresters, Max Gizzi, the former Marion Knight, transferred to Huntington this year for his graduate year. 5 of 8 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Drew Goodline, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Lane Sparks lit it up for the Foresters again. 6 of 12 shooting, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 8 of 8 at the line, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Landon Jordan, 3 of 6 shooting with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Jackson Paul, 3 of 7 shooting with 2 rebounds and 1 block. And looking off the bench, Cade Brenner had a really good game off the bench for the Maple Leafs, 4 of 8 shooting, 4 of 6 from downtown with 2 rebounds. Caden Johnson, 1 of 1 shooting, 4 rebounds and 2 blocks for the Foresters. So that was the matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Upland, Indiana, where the Trojans hosted the Spring Arbor Cougars. This game was a thriller. It went to overtime, and the Trojans outscoring the Cougars 14-2 in the overtime period to pick up the 83-71 win. And looking at the stats, Travis Grayson, 9 of 20 shooting, 4 of 7 though from beyond the arc, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. And Dante Favor, 5 of 9 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, so not bad at all. And Gabe Newhoff, 8 of 17 shooting, 4 of 6 of the line, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. The Cougars shot 41% from the field, 27 from 3. They only got to the line 10 times and made 7 of those free throws for obviously 70%. And the Trojans got to the line, albeit by only a few more times, 15 times at the free throw line for the Trojans. They got 73% at the free throw line there. So the Trojans slightly better at the free throw line, albeit by only 3%, but still 3% can make all the difference. And looking at the Trojans, they had some really good scoring. Chaz Harvey, 7 of 10 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Anton Webb, 6 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and a block. Jackson Olam, 4 of 8 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Nate Paulberg, 2 of 5 shooting, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc with 2 assists, 1 block, 2 rebounds. And Caden Furman, 5 of 13 shooting with 4 rebounds. Kobe Funderburk, 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, 3 of 3 at the line, and just 20 minutes of action off the bench with 2 rebounds, so really good to see that as well. The Trojans, 54% shooting from the field, 41 from 3, and then 71 at the line. So the Trojans, way better shooting from the field and way better from 3-point range as well. So that was the matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Goshen, Indiana, where the Maple Leafs faced off against the Lancers of Grace. Grace, of course, currently ranked 12th. And the Lancers, no problem here, winning this game 82-59. And looking at the stats, Ian Roush had a really good game. 5 of 12 shooting, 7 of 8 at the line, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Bryson Graber, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown with 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Ian Scott, 5 of 11 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds as well, 1 assist and 2 blocks. And so those were your stats there, or at least a few of the key stats, I should say. Grace, 47% shooting from the field, 46 from beyond the arc, 82 at the free throw line. They got to the line 17 times. The Maple Leafs only got to the line 14 times for just 57% at the free throw line for the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs 41% shooting from the field and 31 from three. Looking at the stats for the Maple Leafs, this eliminated them from playoff contention, but they did have some really productive productive stats, I should say. DJ Bryant had 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Richard Wilson, 4 rebounds and 1 steal. Braden Allen, 4 of 6 shooting with 2 steals and 2 blocks. And Marcus Northern, 7 of 10 shooting, 3 of 3 at the line, 5 rebounds and 2 steals. And that was the matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Mishawaka, where number 7 Bethel hosted Mount Vernon Nazarene. Mount Vernon Nazarene had a chance to tie the game at 70 on free throws. However, Mount Vernon missed the second free throw. Bethel went down, hit 2 free throws, and then Mount Vernon was unable to get a shot to go at the buzzer. So the Pilots escaping with the win, 72-69. Way different than the first time these two teams met in Mount Vernon, when it was the Pilots that won by 12 points. So it was way different this time around. So for the Cougars, they had some really productive stats as well. Milton Gage, 3 of 7 shooting, 5 of 6 to the line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And for Peyton Heiss, 4 of 7 shooting with 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And Bailey Conrad, 8 of 16 shooting, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 6 rebounds, 6 assists as well. And Carter Jones, 2 of 5 shooting, so he struggled a little bit, but he did have 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And then off the bench, Isaiah Brown, 6 of 9 shooting with 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. The Cougars shot 45% from the field, 29 from 3, just 61 at the line. Meanwhile, for the Pilots, 45% from the field, 31 from 3, 70 at the line. Some stats, the shooting stats were pretty even. And looking at the stats for the Pilots, they had some really good stats. Austin Kripe, 2 of 7 shooting, 2 assists. James Anderson, 3 of 5 shooting with 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Trent Edwards, 6 of 13 shooting with 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Preston Phillips, 7 of 9 shooting, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc, 5 of 6 of the line, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Luke McBride had an off-shooting game, but it was a perfect 4-4 at the free throw line with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And those were your stats there. The last matchup, receiving votes, St. Francis traveled to receiving votes, Indiana Wesleyan. This was a really good game, and it was the Wildcats now improving to 10-1 at home, trying to keep that home winning streak alive to where potentially the only team they lose to this year at home is Grace, and they did lose to Grace at home back on November 23rd. But since then, the Wildcats still trying to keep that undefeated home streak alive, trying to get through the whole season with their only home loss being to Grace for the second straight year. They only lost 1 game at home last year, and that also was to Grace. So the Wildcats trying to be undefeated at home except to Grace for the second straight season, which is not easy to do as competitive as the league is this year. So that's really, really impressive. The Wildcats victorious in this game, 95-86. Looking at stats for St. Francis, though, they shot the ball really well. Now, the Wildcats were looking to avenge a tough 3-point loss to the Cougars in January, and the Wildcats were able to do that on Saturday. Brandon Northern had a really good game for the Cougars. 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line, 7 assists, 2 steals. Joe Reedy, 2 of 2 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Zane Burke, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. And a really good game from Luke Almodovar, 6 of 8 shooting, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. He only missed 1 free throw. He did have 6 rebounds and 1 steal. And then, of course, Isaiah Malone, 4 of 7 shooting. They really shut him down. Now, IWU gave up 29 points to him. I believe it was either 27 or 29. During the first meeting, they held him, I believe, to only 9 or 11 points this go around. So obviously, you'll take that all day if you're the Wildcats. Malone had 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. And for the Cougars, they shot 52 from the field. They also shot 52 from 3, so not bad at all. And they were 86% at the free throw line. They got to the line 22 times. The Wildcats got to the line 24 times for just 62.5%, so the Cougars were better at the free throw line. Now, for the Wildcats, they shot slightly better from the field at 53%. They were worse from 3 at 40%. but they did have some really impressive stats. So Bright Kari, 4 of 5 shooting with 4 rebounds, 1 steal. And Griffin Cleaver, 31 points, 12 of 15 shooting, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 4 of 6 at the line, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. Luke Brown, 6 of 16 shooting, 3 of 8 from downtown, 3 of 3 at the line, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 rebounds. Marcus Ankney, 2 of 4 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Cademan Bontrager, 7 of 15 shooting, with 4 of 5 rebounds and 3 assists. And off the bench, Isaac Andrews, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 6 from downtown, 6 rebounds as well for him. And those were your recap. That was a recap of all of the games from this past Saturday. And again, the same matches on the men's side for Wednesday: Goshen at Spring Arbor, Taylor at Indiana Wesleyan, St. Francis at Mount Vernon, Huntington at Grace, and Bethel will be at Marion. And looking at an updated look at the standings on the men's side, Grace and Bethel tied for the 1 seed at 12 and 2, Huntington the 3 seed at 9 and 5. Now, in terms of overall record, Grace is 20 and 4, Bethel and Huntington 19 and 5, St. Francis and Spring Arbor 15 and 9, Indiana Wesleyan 16 and 8, Taylor and Mount Vernon 13 and 11, Marion 11 and 13, and Goshen 5 and 19. And then, of course, and that's your overall record for all 10 teams in the league. Your conference records I alluded to: Grace and Bethel 12 and 2, Huntington 9 and 5, St. Francis 8 and 6, Spring Arbor 7 and 7, Iwu and Taylor tied at 6 and 8, and Mount Vernon and Marion tied at 5 and 9. And then, of course, the Maple Leafs still winless in the conference at 0 and 15, of course, eliminated from playoff contention. So, talking really quickly about potential scenarios for tiebreakers, and this is on the men's side. If Grace and Bethel win one more game, that would officially mean that Grace and Bethel would then be going outright for the 1 and the 2 seed. Huntington would not be able to catch them. The only way that Huntington could potentially get to the 2 seed would be Huntington would have to win out, Bethel would have to lose out. Meanwhile, for a lot of these teams still have a really good chance of getting to the 4 seed. Now, here's the scenario for the 4 seed. St. Francis is sitting 8 and 6. They're 1 game ahead of Spring Arbor at 7 and 7. Iwu and Taylor 6 and 8. Mount Vernon and Marion 5 and 9. Now, all these teams still have to play each other a second time. So now, starting with Spring Arbor and Iwu, Spring Arbor would hold the common opponent tiebreaker over the Wildcats, as Spring Arbor does have a win over the Lancers, and the Lancers swept the Wildcats. So in order for Indiana Wesleyan to be ahead of Spring Arbor, Indiana Wesleyan would have to be ahead of Spring Arbor by 1 game in order to be ahead of them. Now, for Indiana Wesleyan and Taylor, now Taylor, at least now, granted, a lot of these teams still have to play each other, so I don't really want to dive into specifics of each individual team and trying to figure out where they would be at in the Crossroads League tournament, but that's just a couple of these scenarios. So for the Wildcats, for them to be the 4 seed and get that final home playoff spot, the Wildcats would have to run the table, have St. Francis only win 1, and have Spring Arbor only lose 2 for the Wildcats to be at 10 wins, and then, of course, hoping that St. Francis and Spring Arbor only get to 9 wins for the Wildcats to be ahead of those 2 teams. Meanwhile, for Mount Vernon and Marion, now Mount Vernon and Marion, they can still get to the 4 seed, but it's a lot tougher for them. Mount Vernon and Marion would both have to run the table and have St. Francis, Spring Arbor. Now Mount Vernon and Marion would have to run the table, have St. Francis lose out, have Spring Arbor only win 1, and have Indiana Wesleyan and Taylor only winning 2. That is the only scenario for Mount Vernon and Marion to get up to that number 4 seed. So that just goes to show you just how competitive the league is this year. And it's really the most competitive that I've seen. So obviously it's still super wide open. There's 4 games left in conference, so a lot can happen. But those are officially the scenarios on the men's side. And at least with the potential scenarios that we know for sure what needs to happen in order for those teams to get up to the 4 spot, and in order for Indiana Wesleyan to be ahead of Spring Arbor. So that's a look at the potential scenarios on the men's side for those teams. And I hope that was super, super helpful to you. If it was, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, or leave me a comment. Any of those three things help me out greatly. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video and have a great rest of your day.